Hello and Assalamualaikum. Today I will present you about overcrowded classrooms, overwhelmed minds, the reality of today education. So this is about the case study EDU550. Alright, I will introduce myself. My name is Muhammad is Waqiuddin bin Mazlan. My matrix number is 2024795003, and currently I study in Bachelor of Physical and Health Education. I'm in class ED246-3A, and this is my title of case study: Overcrowded Classrooms, Overwhelmed Minds, the Reality of Today's Educations. So this is the objective of the study. The first point is research problem. So overcrowded classrooms have become a growing concern in many schools, especially in densely populated areas. This issue not only affects the physical learning environment but also influences the academic performance, emotional well-being of students, and the workload of teachers. Despite various efforts by school administration, such as using additional classrooms or implementing season-based schooling, the problem also persists due to limitation in infrastructure, resources, and strategic planning. So, what is the research objective? The first one is to identify the factors that can contribute to the issue of overcrowded classroom in schools. Second, to explore the measures that can be taken to address and manage the of overcrowded classroom. Alright, this is the literature review. First one is overcrowded classroom are persistent issue in many educational systems, particularly in developing countries. They refer to situation where the numbers of students in single classroom exceeds the ideal teacher or student ratio, which affect the quality of education and the overall learning experience. Uh, this is by Malvern King, 2010. This review synthesized existing literature on the causes of overcrowded classrooms, their impacts on students and teachers, and the role of structure and mitigation strategies. So the second one is one of the primary causes of overcrowded classroom is population growth, which leads to an increased number of school-aged children. This is by UNESCO 2017. In some areas, rural-urban migration places additional strain on urban schools, OECD 2012. Furthermore, inadequate planning and allocation of education resources such as classroom and teaching staff exacerbate the issue by Wang et al. 1993. In Malaysia, rapid development in urban township often outpaces the growth of educational infrastructure, resulting in schools operating above their intended capacity. So, this is the others literature review. Effects on students. Numerous studies have shown that overcrowded classroom negatively affect student learning. According to the Blatchford et al. 2011, students in overcrowded settings experience difficult concentrating due to noise, limited mobility, and reduced teacher interaction. They may also feel emotionally overwhelmed or disengaged, which contribute to lower academic achievement and social isolation by Finn et al. 2003. Additionally, sitting arrangement in such environment often limit visibility and access to learning materials. Also, this proportionately affecting students with special needs or learning difficulties by Tomlinson 2001. Then the last is effect on teachers. Teachers in overcrowded classroom face increased workloads. They must manage a larger number of students, conduct more assessments, and address diverse learning needs simultaneously. This lead to stress, fatigue, and reduced teaching effectively by Murzana 2003. In such condition, it become difficult for educators to apply student-centered approach, provide personalized feedback, or maintaining effective classroom management by Muryan Kings 2010. So this is the methodology. The method I use is qualitative research design using semi-structured interviews. All interviews are with online using Google Meets. So the first one is teacher Masnur Hidayu binti Januri. She 28 years old and still novice in teachings, and she teaching in SMK Bandar Sri Alam 1, Masai Johor, also have 3 years experience, and she teaching in Bahasa Melayu. And the second one is teacher Muhammad Ifan Fidaus. He 25 years old, current status also novice, and currently he teaching in SMK Seri Kota Puteri 2, Masai Johor, and have 1 year's experience, still news, and teaching in subject pendidikan music. So as you can see, this is the interview question. What are the main effect of overcrowded classroom on students? How does an overcrowded classroom affect students' concentration? To what extent does school infrastructure influence the issue of overcrowded classrooms? And last, how is teacher workload affected by overcrowded classroom? This is from research question 1, and this is the research question 2. First, what measures have been taken by schools to reduce the number of students in single classroom? Second, what is the role of parents in addressing the issue of overcrowded classroom? Third is how can class distribution help reduce overcrowding? And the last one, in your opinion, can student-centered learning effectively implement in the overcrowded classroom? So this is the all interview question that I asked the teacher. Alright, so this is the timeline. The first one is what is notable similarities from both teachers. Both teachers mentioned that overcrowded classroom make it hard for students to focus due to the noise, close sitting, and distraction. Students also feel physically uncomfortable due to the lack of the space. And the second is both agree that managing large number of students increase teacher workloads and reduce the ability to give individual attention, leading to the lower teaching effectiveness. And this is the notable differences. Teacher A emphasized the difficult in giving extra help to students who need individual support due to overcrowding, but in teacher B focus more on peer interaction issues and how overcrowded increase emotional stress among students. And teacher A also believe in challenging but word addictive, though not as effective as in the same smaller classes. And teacher B, the last ones to say, states more directly that student-centered learning cannot be fully implemented unless the teacher is very creative. So, this is the main finding that I find. First, overcrowded classrooms affect students' learning and well-being. Second, teacher workload and burnout increase. Third is inadequate infrastructure is a root cause. And next, schools implement temporary strategies. Then parental involvement is crucial. Second last is class distribution, improve manageability, and the last one is student-centered learning is challenging in overcrowded classes. So this is for the last part, conclusion and recommendation. The key finding that I find is overcrowded classroom disrupts students' learning. Then infrastructure differences are a major cause. Then the last is teacher will increase significantly. So the possible risks in future may be impact of overcrowded classroom on student mental health. Then the second is comparative studies between urban and rural schools. And for my recommendation for school is first implement split seasons or rotating schedules, then optimize space usage, also use flexible timetable, then for group students strategically, And recommendation for parents: first, be actively involved in PIBG. Then second is support school proposal. And for the ministry, first is increase education budget for infrastructures. Second, conduct nationwide school capacity audits. And the last one is promote inclusive digital learning solutions.